I did just see something that gives me a little hope that it might not just be kind of the same species. Let's see if we can track it down. There's a white flash that I saw over here. When people think of Louisiana, they normally think about Mardi Gras, the bayou, alligators, and hurricanes. However, like many warm climate states, these places can also become homes for many non-native and invasive species. Today, I'm at the Adley Landry Water Reservoir walking trail in Thibodaux, Louisiana to see what birds currently call the reservoir home. One of the first birds that I noticed when I got here were these Muscovy ducks. And there's 3 of them right behind me, and they're drinking out of this puddle. And just within a few minutes of being here, people have already come to feed them, so it's obvious why they stay here and just hang out. But the Muscovy duck is native to Mexico, Central America area, and they were domesticated, and then birds escaped and created feral populations, or they were released. So what we have here is probably like a feral breeding population, and there's a lot of Muscovy ducks in the warmer states where it doesn't get too cold for them. So in southern Louisiana, pretty common bird. The Muscovy duck is a unique bird known for the red skin on its face, accompanied by warty growths. Feral breeding populations of these birds have been established far out of their normal range, and individuals come in a wider variety of colors compared to native birds, including blacks, browns, greens, grays, and whites. In their native range, the Muscovy duck is found in parts of South Texas, Central America, and South America. These individuals live in forests, nest in tree cavities, and generally have an overall dark coloration. Muscovy ducks are one of the oldest domesticated fowl species and were being kept by natives in Peru and Paraguay at the time that Spanish explorers arrived. Feral birds often interbreed with other species, and individuals in these populations are larger than those in native populations. Muscovy ducks have a diverse diet and feed on a variety of plants and animals. Alright, moving down just a little bit, there's a pier that goes out here. And you have Pekin ducks, the white ones, which are probably domestics at some point. They may have a feral breeding population. The American Pekin duck is actually a domesticated white variety of mallard that is thought to have been around since at least 2500 BC when they were farmed in China. In 1873, they were brought to the United States and are the most popular commercial duck breed in the US. They are mostly raised for their meat and eggs, but are sometimes domesticated as pets, and some also exist as feral populations. American Pekin ducks are flightless and are well known in pop culture from companies like Aflac. Donald Duck is also thought to have been modeled after an American Pekin duck. Along with the Pekin ducks were many rock pigeons. The rock pigeon is a chunky bird that comes in a variety of colors, but is most commonly different shades of gray with 2 dark wing bars, an iridescent green or purple neck, and a blue-gray head. Rock pigeons were introduced into America by Europeans in the early 1600s and can now be found in every state in the US. They are thought to have been domesticated over 5,000 years ago based on writings in Mesopotamian cuneiform tables and Egyptian hieroglyphics. Known for their homing skills, rock pigeons sense the Earth's magnetic field and use this ability along with their other senses as well as the position of the sun to navigate. They are often seen feeding on seeds or discarded food in urban spaces and will nest in a variety of different places, including cliffs, ledges, on top of man-made structures, and more. This stuff is just thriving here in this kind of urban environment, and you'll notice that it's mostly either species that are very abundant in the south or feral species. So in urban environments, especially where it's warm, you'll get a lot of those species kind of commingling together, and then people come and feed them, and it just kind of encourages it all to keep happening. Alright, I did just see something that gives me a little hope that it might not just be kind of the same species. Let's see if we can track it down. There's a white flash that I saw over here. Oh, there's a dove. Let's check that out real quick. Is that a regular mourning dove? No, that's a Eurasian collared dove. Not a bad find. Alright, back to my search. I don't know why, but there's just something kind of discouraging about being in a place with a lot of non-native species. Like, it just doesn't feel authentic for some reason. I followed the trail until I spotted a white bird by the water's edge. I found it. It's a snowy egret. Check that out. That's so cool. The snowy egret is a medium-sized bird that is bright white with black legs, distinctive yellow feet, and strips of yellow that extend from their black bill to their eyes. During breeding season, this yellow strip can turn nearly bright red, and their feet may also change to an orange-yellow color. Additionally, during breeding season, snowy egrets develop wispy feathers on their head, neck, and back, which were sought after in the fashion industry in 1886. Many birds were killed at this time until reforms were approved in the 20th century and the population recovered. Snowy egrets live year-round in many southern coastal locations and migrate to about the middle of the U.S. but are sometimes found further north. They also live in Central and South America. Their diet consists mostly of small aquatic animals, and they will vibrate their bill to help attract prey. Nesting occurs in colonies, and nests are normally made in the tops of trees or shrubs. Soon after the first egret appeared, a second snowy egret flew in and started feeding. Curious about what they were eating, I decided to take a look for myself. Okay, in order to see just how much food this egret has, I grabbed one of my nets. It's really long-handled, and we're gonna do kind of a blind dip. I'm just gonna dip it in and see if we get any little fish. Got some. So as you can see, fish this size would be a perfect meal for an egret, especially a snowy. So food supply is definitely there. Well, both egrets just took off, and I'm gonna get these guys back in the water and call it a day. After releasing the fish, I headed home, grateful to have had such great views of the two snowy egrets. Although many warm climate areas have become breeding grounds for non-native and invasive species, it gives me hope to still see natives such as snowy egrets using these areas to their advantage. Hopefully, with more education, we can keep non-native species contained by not moving them to new locations and preserve native species by protecting their habitat. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Badgerland Birding.